and ye shall hold your peace.
The Most High gonna fight for us. And be quiet. Shema Yahshua. Be quiet. Shut up. Read.
And the Most High said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me?
The Most High said unto Moses, why you crying to me? Read.
Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. For lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea.
This is power. I don't know if y'all understand what we said. You got to get in the spirit. This is spiritual power. He told Moses, put your rod over to the Red Sea. It's going to divide. And we're going to walk across that sea on dry ground. Shoot. What we do? We cry to him. We cry to him. Exodus 15. Start at verse 23.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 23.
And it's so sad because we can read this all. You can read this. Some people out there probably have read this over and over and over again, or went through these laws or whatever, and not really see the significance of the spiritual part of what it's saying that works. That's what we need. We got to go into this because most people, all they want to know is how it works going to work for them anyway. Really, how's it going to benefit me? But right now, I'm going to this because this is what we need to do as a nation in the times that we're in. And you see the times that we're faced with, and it's dangerous times when we're in what worked. And you see the result. It worked. And you wonder why is it not working for us? Because you're not doing what it did from the beginning. Always worked. Read.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 23. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink?
Always complaining. Something's wrong. That's us, man. Always complaining. Woe is me. What we gonna drink? The water's bitter, man. What we gonna drink, Moses? You done brought us out of this wilderness, man. We had all kind of water back in Egypt. We could have stayed serving in Egypt. That's what they're gonna think about. Leaving back. Go ahead.
And he cried unto the Most High, and the Most High showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statue and an ordinance, and there he proved them.
Moses cried to the Most High again, and he showed him a tree. Gave him a way out. Hey, let this tree fall into that water. Because we require a sign. So he had the tree fall into the water. And we had Moses so far as well, Moses, take your rod. That's a rod. Do like that. Red Sea open. See the dry ground. That's a sign. Look, all the plagues that we see in Egypt. All the plagues we see in Egypt, and nothing happened to us in Goshen. The cities that we were in, right? And still don't believe. And we look at all the miracles from going all the way back, we go all the way back in the wilderness, coming out of the wilderness, to going further into the scriptures to show you over and over again the solution and get to the point of where we at now, and it just in this area, not the other area, like, because you don't have a spirit, and you can't see this when we go through all of this. Read.
And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Most High thy power, and will do that which is right in his sight.
We got to follow his laws, statutes, commandments. Do what he said, do his rules and regulations. You hearken, that means you listen to the voice and do that which is right truth. Read.
which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Most High that healeth thee.
Right. Most High said he will give you all the diseases that he gave the Egyptians. But where we at now? We deal with the plagues. Look at Exodus, start at 17:1.
Exodus chapter 17, verse 1. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Most High, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink.
No water for people to drink. Go ahead.
Wherefore the people did chide with Moses.
They start arguing with Moses, start complaining and murmuring and doing the things that they had been doing before. Read.
And said, give us water that we may drink.
Give us water that we may drink. Moses, read.
And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me?
Why you going back and forth with me? Why you chiding with me? Read. Wherefore
Do ye tempt the Most High?
you tempt the Most High and myself outside? Are you serious? You haven't seen all the things that he's done already? We just read about it. Before we got here, we was in Psalm 106. We read about it. Go ahead.
And the people thirsted for water. And the people murmured against Moses, and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?
Yes, here we go. That's what the Most High said, right? That's what we read about, right? Second Ezra, you know what I mean? And Psalm 106. What else in Psalm 78 chapter 2? I mean, this is what we did, man. Bunch of complainers, man. Ain't never satisfied with nothing. Never know how to be content. Look at, go back to second Ezra. Second Ezra. 1, read verse 15.
Second Ezra chapter 1, verse 15. Thus said the Almighty Power, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, ye murmured there.
But you know that it all goes together, read. And we are the wilderness now. This is the book of Ezra, read.
And triumph not in my name, and triumph not for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur.
But ever to this day, in 2014, do Israel still murmur? Go ahead.
Where are the benefits that I have done for you when ye were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness? Did ye not cry unto me?
So we'll read the law. Crying unto me. When you was hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did you not cry unto me, read?
Saying, why hast thou brought us into this wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. Then had I pity upon your mournings, and gave you manna to eat. So ye did eat angel's bread.
Right, so you see the Bible, the Apocrypha is part of the 1611 Bible. Because it's what we're reading about, you know, some of the case scenarios that we're going over is the same thing that he's talking about happened to us in the Apocrypha. You see? So let's continue. Exodus 17 and 4. Go ahead.
And the Most High said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel.
Don't think our people change. Get John 8:59. Go read verse 58 and 59. So you see what he said, and you can understand what he said. John 8:58 and 59.
St. John, chapter 8.
Moses cried to Most High and said, hey, the people about ready to stone me, right? So that's way back then, right? Let's bring our home to the New Covenant, see what it says in the New Testament. Let's see what it says. Read.
St. John, chapter 8, verse 58. Hamashiach said unto them,
To the Israelites, what he say?
verily, verily, I say to you, before Abraham was,
There's a comment, I got to slow down. Before Abraham was, before Abraham even came into the world, read.
I am.
That's what he said when they asked him, who do you think you are? You know, who maketh thou, read verse 53. So people talk about that's the Most High, but let's read what it says in verse 53.
Art thou greater than our father Abraham,
They asked him, you greater than our father Abraham, read.
which is dead,
Go ahead.
and the prophets are dead?
All the prophets are dead, greater than them, read.
Who makest thou thyself?
You make it you yourself. There it is. This is when he told who he was. Verse 58.
Among scholars said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
There it is. I am. Alright. That's what that means. That's the title that he has also. The brother saying that I am is the Most High. But if you will, where Mashiach Yahushua at? Where's he at? In Exodus, the 3rd chapter. And it says an angel, what was Mashiach Yahushua? He's an angel, he was a spirit at that time. He's the one that created all the worlds from the power of the Most High. So he said, before Abraham was, I am talking to Israel. Read.
Then took they up stones to cast at him.
Then took up stones to cast at him. Same scenario, right? Go ahead.
But Hamashiach hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by.
Right. He hid himself and he had to get out of that, man. Israel was about ready to kill him. No different when we read in verse 4, this was Moses cried to the Most High concerning Israel. In Exodus 17 and 4.
Exodus chapter 17, verse 4. And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me.
Moses cried to the Most High. Now, people ready to stone you. He wasn't prideful crying to the Most High. He didn't have no pride at all. He had to come to the Most High very humble. People get ready to kill him. They get ready to stone him to death. Mashiach Yahushua had the spiritual power to get, the high he said and hid himself. And went amongst the people, a lot of people that was around him in the temple to get out. Moses crying to the Most High. They right there with him. You can't go nowhere. Go ahead.
And the Most High said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy
beside us,